And yes, when you're not good at it. Have you found it better to teach a chorus to an audience by singing through it slowly a couple times, or speaking through it and then going into the song? I don't find this so helpful. I find it better to do it as well as I can, up to tempo. Then later on, maybe I can do it slowly. The way with the Spanish song, I sang it up to tempo first, and then later on, I have to slow down a little because it's too difficult to sing it up to tempo. And sometimes, as I did with the Malvina's song, Sing Along, I speak the words out to make sure everybody gets them clear. They say it's important to have perfect pitch. I don't have perfect pitch. I've got a relative pitch, but I can't tell you whether I'm singing a C or a C sharp or a D but I can got fairly good relative pitch. Keeping a steady beat, I guess this is good if you've got a song that needs a steady beat. Oh, what do you do if there's no sound system? Have any of you ever tried speaking to the people within earshot and saying, look, you're my loudspeaker. We'll start a song, and if those few who can hear me sing it out, those who can't hear me will get it from you. Occasionally mics have just conked out on me, so I've shouted, everybody within earshot, here we go, and I start off with a song that they know well enough so they can pick it up from me, and then they sing it loud enough, and pretty soon 1,000 people or 2,000 people are getting it from them. I learned that trick from, of all things, a Chinese. Liu Liangmo came over here in World War II, teaching some of the songs which he was teaching to the Chinese communist armies. He said, we don't have microphones over there, but I get a group of singers the day before, and I teach them the song, and they're my microphone, loudspeakers. And next thing you know, they were teaching a song to 5,000 people. He was a YMCA song leader, incidentally. Yeah. What do you do with rock and roll addicts? Sing a rock and roll song. Sing something they know. Don't, at least meet them halfway. What do you have when you have a very formal setting, or with ill or non-mobile people? This happens in hospitals. I've sung. You do your best. You can't. It doesn't work out as well, but it's a lot better than it would be if you weren't there. I remember singing in a hospital. That was my job, singing in hospitals when I was overseas in the island of Saipan. And I remember a ward full of men in casts, and I didn't even know if they could hear me, except one guy's toe was wiggling outside the cast. It was all, you could hardly see the guy who was wrapped up in bandages. So if you have, it's true, formal settings don't help. If I had my favorite, I don't know how about you, but if I had my favorite way to make music, it would be in a very crowded room. Because when human bodies are crowded close, you get the critical mass going. And maximum maybe a few hundred. And then, by gosh, we'd raise the roof. And everybody's with it. I suppose it's nice if they can see you, because they can follow your lips. And I sang that old, slow English love song, The Water is Wide, for a group in this Sanders Theater, 800 people. And I was amazed how well they kept with me, because I got so interested in singing it that I wasn't using my hands, but they were just following my lips. Just following my lips. And they kept rhythm beautifully. So it's remarkable what they can do if they want to. But I don't know what else I can tell you that I haven't already.
What about that story with the lumberjacks?
Oh, yeah. Woody Guthrie and I were told by Irene Hall arranged this. She introduced us to the Lumber Workers Union shop steward, organizer. He said, well, I'm going out to visit several camps tomorrow. Why don't you come with me? And you can sing some songs for the men. He says, they're all Scandinavians, don't expect them to make a big fuss over you. They're the taciturn type. Well, that was an understatement. The bunkhouse, about 50 feet square, about 80 men sitting around on their bunks, and he stood near the stove in the center and made a report on the union negotiations. He said, we'll have a couple of men here going to sing some songs. And there's dead silence. We stood up and we sang a song. There was dead silence. Sing another song, dead silence. Said, well, let's sing one more and call it an evening. We sang one more and there's dead silence. We said, thanks. And we walked to the door. One of the men said, aren't you going to sing any more? Well, we went, you want to hear more? Yeah. We went back, sang another song, dead silence. And so, said, thanks a lot, man. And we walked off. Next morning, breakfast, one of the men said, boy, that music was wonderful. We could have listened to it all night. Well, Scandinavians are taciturn.
I was wondering if you have any special things that you do to get ready to do a big performance, like tonight.
Breathe deeply. Do a few deep knee bends or touch toes. Your physical health is tremendously important. And if your back is giving you trouble, tighten up your stomach muscles. That's why you get your backs. It gets in trouble when you don't have strong enough stomach muscles. And it was W.E.B. Du Bois said that disregarding your health is a political error. God gave us a certain amount of strength, but we can lose it easily if we don't get exercise and eat properly and sleep properly and so on. And when I'm in a bad way, I can't do a good job in the audience. If I'm hoarse, I can still do it if my muscles are feeling strong. I can be quite hoarse and still do a fairly good job of song reading. But if I'm tired, been without sleep for a couple of nights, I'm going to louse it up.
The way you and Faith introduce songs makes, I feel, and somebody else said, makes people feel like you're singing about their relatives. A lot of us don't do that. Can you speak to that? I mean, feelings of how you talk about songs that make everybody feel like you're singing about a friend, and what's this to really sing out?
I never heard that said, but I guess it's true. I'd like to think that every song it becomes personally important to everybody who hears it. And so I guess you just want to do it. That must come through. I used to talk too damn much, and I've tried to cut down on the talking in recent years. The reason was, once, years ago, somebody asked me to do some lectures, and I had so much fun lecturing. It took me years to get over it. Then I listened to some of the best singers and song leaders I know, and I realized they don't talk half as much as I do. They make the words